Day 673. We're still hiking up the mountain. There's no end in sight. Please send help.
We arrived at Chantry Flats around the crack of dawn, 6:30 a.m. to be precise. We were heading to Mount Wilson, a 14-mile trip from start to finish. We followed a paved road down into the valley where broadleaf trees quickly surrounded us.
We are hiking Chantry Flats to Mount Wilson. And it's like a 7-mile hike one way and then 7 miles back the other way. This is actually a hike recommended by SoCal Hiker. It's part of the 6-Pack Peak Challenge, and it's a way to kind of prepare yourself for bigger hikes like Mount Whitney or the John Muir Trail. We are now just leaving Chantry Flats area and starting the hike upwards towards Mount Wilson. We haven't seen it yet, have you?
No.
Okay, this is Alli. You probably know her.
Yep.
The stream led us through some rental cabins and dams. As cabins disappeared around us, the trail began to hug the side of this rocky mountain. Soon we saw Chantry Falls from above, and we respected the cliffside that we were traversing.
I didn't realize how precarious of a hike this was actually going to be. That was like a 70-foot drop or something.
With the rushing water and granite-like cliff sides, I felt like I was back in Yosemite. Alli led the way as we followed the trail. It was springtime, and wildflowers were all in bloom. We came across a gathering of a few as we made our way along the trail.
So the type of boot I have is a Lover Renegade. Absolutely fantastic, waterproof actually. I found that out the other week after I bought it, but let me show you because it's amazing.
Yeah, those you can't see any water except, you know, on the rubber parts on the bottom. So we've been on this trail for maybe 2.5-3 miles, and when we first started, there were a lot of people on the trails. Once you make it to the first big waterfall, the people just kind of disappear. Now, we did get here at like 6:30 a.m., so that might also be a reason, but it's totally worth it just to get here early.
The sun began to poke through the mountains, and both the greenery and creek were illuminated with a golden hue. We crossed the creek and headed up a steeper trail. The gentle uphill slope felt relaxing as the rushing water below soothed our ears.
I know we're gaining elevation, but I can't tell because it's so gradual and it's so pretty. That's the best type of elevation gain.
We crossed a footbridge to the Cascade Picnic area. A sign there read 3.5 miles. We were halfway to the summit. Soon enough, we came across Spruce Grove as well. We passed some overnight campers who were cooking breakfast. The smell of campfire filled the air as we saw clouds of smoke above. We pushed forward to Sturtevant Camp, not too far from Spruce Grove. We kept right at the fork and headed toward Mount Wilson. We were making good time, but other hikers were constantly passing by us.
So we hit the 4-mile mark, and this is the hard part of the trail, I'm quickly realizing. It's not that it's the hardest thing we've done, it's just this is like really the first big hike out of winter. We're just really out of shape.
Our pace got slower, and as we slowed down, we were attacked by some vicious pests.
Alli, what's your favorite thing in the world?
Oh, gnats. They're the best. Car.
So a few hundred feet back, Alli and I just realized this was only the halfway mark from the last campsite we were at to the top of the mountain. Needless to say, we were a little demoralized.
Yeah.
But now we got some mountains over there. That helps.
The last mile and a half to the summit was a struggle.
Day 673. We're still hiking up the mountain. There is no end in sight. Please send help.
Whether it was because we were out of shape or because of the steepness of the trail, we had to push forward for what seemed like hours. But we finally made it. As we passed by some astronomical equipment, we made it to the best view in Los Angeles. In the distance was snowy Mount Baldy. This will be our third peak to conquer this year. The San Gabriels stretched for miles. As a small-town Ohioan, mountains like these still take my breath away. Lest I forget, Wilson's summit is drivable, with many significant observatories and media towers positioned atop it. We checked out the local museum before continuing our journey.
We made it to the top. We were a little bit too tired to actually talk about making it to the top, but we're going to talk about making it down. And right now the trick is to find the trail down. And it's a different trail than the way we came up. So we're going to see if this is any good or not. Okay, so I've given up on the tripod. I'm going all handheld on this now. Aha! We found it. Chantry Flats. Right there. You ready? Let's do it. Hang on. So if you can't tell, I'm not using my camera anymore just because it's too dangerous for me to use the camera and to go down these slopes too. But this is the best sighting in the world. And we're gonna go down there, we're gonna get our car, and we're gonna buy some Taco Bell. Heaven help us.